So, if you watch the channel, you know, from time to time I can be a little delusional. I'm sorry, it's got a smile when I see this name right now because he's trending. Anyway, so as I was saying, I can be a little delusional sometimes, right? I can be a little overzealous. I can be a little bit of a, hey, I think the Bengals are going to do this, and this, and they're going to be the best team ever. Because I truly believe in my heart that we have the best team ever. That's what I truly believe, right? So sometimes I can get a little over crazy when it comes to certain things, and my opinions, get a little rowdy sometimes. And nonetheless, so point of it, all I'm trying to say here is that however you think I act when it comes to certain things, you have to remember that the Bengals, they, all my mentality of, yeah, we're not going to trade T for this, this, and this, and we're going to want this, this, and this. The Bengals are very tight. Wait. The word is they're very stingy on what they will trade a player for, right? They won't give up a player for nothing. They won't give up a player for under what they value that said player as. And they will always value their players at a very, very high level. It is what it is, right? We tried to trade Jonah Williams last offseason. Guess what? The Bengals said, first round pick or we're not doing it. NFL GMs came out, said that he's not worth anything more than a third. We stuck to our guns and we kept Jonah Williams. It is what it is, right? We ended up letting him go this offseason. He got picked up. We rather do that than trade him for potentially a third round pick because at the end of the day, we value him more. And if we value a player more, Cincinnati will never, ever lose a trade. They will always do their trades based on what benefits them the most and that they always have to be the winning side. They have to overly win a trade for a trade to happen, right? Billy Price for BJ Hill trade. Way won that trade on Cincinnati's side. So the whole point of all this, right, and why I'm talking about all this, is because Pro Football Network posted a new mock draft. And they have us at pick number 6. Now, if this is, again, a logical trade according to them, what this is saying is that we're going to trade T. Higgins, right, to the New York Giants, which I don't think is actually, first off, I don't want to trade T. Higgins in any way possible. But if we did trade T. Higgins, it would most likely, if not 1,000%, be to an NFC team, right? Because at the end of the day, we're not going to trade him inside our conference. We're not going to want to deal with playing against him in the future. So it would be an NFC team, and the Giants are a perfect candidate because we don't play them. We probably won't play them at all, and them benefiting isn't hurting our bottom line. But here's where I disagree with what the mock draft suggests. So, according to this mock draft by Pro Football Network, they claim we're going to trade T. Higgins plus, and the second you hear the word plus, you automatically know Cincinnati is saying no to that said trade. They're going to trade T. Higgins, the 18th overall pick, in a second round pick for the 6th overall pick. And again, I'm going to tell you right now, I believe there's a 0% chance. First off, there's 0% chance you get T. Higgins and the 18th overall pick. There is no way in heck that Cincinnati would trade you that in any capacity at all. That's number one. Number two, even if they said, hey, listen, T in a second for the 7th overall pick, which I don't think is the most outlandish thing in the world, because you are getting a top 10 pick for T. Higgins here. Obviously, the second round pick sucks, but at the end of the day, you are still getting yourselves this. And I feel like if they did do this type of trade where they traded T plus a second, they would also probably say, hey, listen, we want the 7th or whatever it is, the 6th overall pick, and we would like, a 5th round pick, right? We would want a 4th or 5th round of that same year. So we're giving you a second. We're changing that for a 4th or 5th. and we're also trading you T for the 7th overall pick. We want to keep our 18th overall pick. That, I think, is more realistic, and I don't think in any way this is realistic. They're not going to trade you 2 picks, including a first and a second, plus T. Higgins for the 6th overall pick. And again, the reason why that's not going to happen is because of the fact, why? How are they benefiting from doing that, right? What is Cincinnati winning by trading T. Higgins this year? It's already very clear T is going to play this year on a franchise tag, which means we have a number 2 wide receiver for this whole entire season who's going to be playing good because he wants a contract next year with a new team. So, or we could potentially work out a contract with us, right? If we did end up working out a contract. So, by trading him, we're losing a number 2 wide receiver. That's just the fact of the matter is. Then now you're saying we're also going to give up a 2nd round pick, which is a 2nd round talent here, okay? We're also going to give up our 18th overall pick, which is a 1st round talent we're giving up. So we're losing a 2nd receiver and 2 potential starters. 3 potential starters here we're giving up for 1 potential starter who might be good or might not be good. I know he's an amazing wide receiver, but you know how receivers go from college where they're amazing and they don't translate to the NFL. So what Cincinnati's going to look at in this idea, this mock draft trade, is that we're giving up 3 starters for a potential. And we're going to save $20 million minus the money that we're going to give Romeo Duzé, which is most likely, because it's a 6th overall pick, I believe that's going to put his contract, I want to say around $12 million. No, not $12 million. I think it's like $7-8 million. Which, it's not going to happen. I'm sorry, it's not going to happen. Because you're giving up 3 guaranteed starters for 1 just potential. And it isn't logical. Again, if they gave up maybe, like I said before, T plus a 2nd, or even, I would say they probably wouldn't do that, to be honest. They probably wouldn't. But maybe T plus a 3rd, and then we get back the 6th overall pick, but we also get back a 6th round pick. I could see that as a potential, idea, and I don't think that's really that outrageous. But you have to remember is, again, they could have given T the non-exclusive franchise tag. They could have. And with the fact that they have not talked to him since last offseason means that clearly they weren't meaning or ready to re-sign T. Higgins to a contract, right? They're not going out there and saying, yep, we're going to re-sign T, that's why. Which means that they value him more than 2 first-round picks. Because if they valued him for less than 2 first-round picks, they would have given him the non-exclusive franchise tag, sat there in the market, letting everyone know, yeah, guess what? This guy's available for trade, and that's what they would have done. And not only that, keep in mind, they franchise tagged T. Higgins a week before the Combine, which was way, way, way early, which a lot of people got confused about, like, why would they franchise tag him that early? The reason why is because they wanted the trade rumors and trade talk to stop. So if they're interested in the idea of trading T. Higgins, every single thing Cincinnati has done this offseason so far has shown the opposite of that. And again, like I said, yeah, I'm very biased because I do love T. And I'm very biased because I also want to see my team benefit and win every single trade. But the thing is, right, with how delusional some people might think I am when it comes to certain trades or certain asks for certain things for the Bengals, you have to remember the Bengals are 1,000 times worse than me. And it's not really them being delusional as in the fans. They are in, rightfully so, what most NFL teams are, is they want the best for their team. And that's also, again, I said, that's what I want as well. I want the best for this team. And, if it means that we have to just have a guy on our team for a year and he's not going to be traded and he's just going to be a starting receiver and he's going to help us get to a Super Bowl and potentially win one, then that's the case. But trading away 3 starters for 1 potential is just not, I don't care who the player is. It really doesn't matter at the end of the day who the player is. You're trading away 3 starters for 1 potential player, and no. Like, absolutely no. Because that 18th overall pick could be a starting right tackle in this team. So, like, let me put it in this perspective. Would you trade a starting right tackle, a franchise right tackle, a franchise D tackle, and T. Higgins for a really good, potentially great, but we don't know yet, potentially wide receiver 2? I'm giving up a wide receiver 2, a franchise right tackle, and a franchise D tackle for a potential wide receiver 2. I'm literally giving up what I'm getting back in the wide receiver 2 market. And there is no way in anyone's possible head here that you could say I'm 100% getting my same value back for T, or this guy's going to be in any way like T, or he's going to work out with T, and not even in any circumstance potentially could leave after 4 years, and we have him for 4 years. Right? So this is why, again, I do not believe this would happen. Cincinnati does not trade up. That's just simply the facts. This is less of a trade up. This is more of just a trade in general. We're not going to give up that much draft capital. Sorry, it's not going to happen. See you guys in the next one. Peace.